Hello.
Greetings, cyberspace cadets. It's IRATE Prostate here, and we're rolling. I'm not going to say live because we were live before we did this. All right, before we flipped the switch, we were live, and we're still alive. So that's a good thing. I'm sitting here with a couple of awesome guys, and I just I always do the same thing. I make the same mistake every time.
He forgot all of our names.
No, I didn't. Actually left the audio on the page. So anyway, I'm here with Sir Adamantine.
Greetings, everyone.
And Phobos Media.
Take me to your leader.
And Veneficus Igneous, also known as the Living Flame.
Nice to meet y'all.
Yeah.
Wow, I could do a better opening than that. Sorry.
You did great, man. You did great. And so we were talking before before the top of the hour kicked, and I decided to go ahead and roll it because it was yeah. Let's who wants to start? Hello.
You're our leader, so you should start.
We were talking about the problems that Jazz Jennings was having and how it compared to AIU, and I believe that Sir Adamantine was explaining to us how they were almost identical.
No, not AIU.
Oh, who?
The Amazing Atheist.
Oh, the Amazing Atheist, not Atheist is Unstoppable. I get all those guys confused.
I'm not even trying to insult the Amazing Atheist because I have nothing against him, but the fact that he has a micro penis is well known. He's shown it and he fully admits to it.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, man, you know.
Well, at least he's not going to get at least he's not going to get a vagina made out of his butthole. There's that.
And we can all be thankful for that. Although, again, I don't dislike him, but there's a lot of ass to work with there if he needs.
This is so mean. It's like, Sir Adamantine, man, just don't hold back, please. Whatever you do.
This is me holding back.
Oh, well, I'm going to encourage you to not hold back. Crazy. So, God, man, where do you start with this shit? I just heard on the Kumite that supposedly there's 3 more gigs of information that has not dropped yet, and it's supposed to drop. Is this confirmable yet?
I haven't heard that, but I really hope that's true because if I were Braving Ruin, I'd be like, yeah, throw out some of the shit, wait for them to trap themselves into more lies, and then throw out the rest. Right,
and that's kind of what Tonka Saw alluded to, is that he was like, they were saying, well, it's pretty much cut and dry that, hey, I think I'm real was not part of this, and Bunny King, blah blah blah, and Tonka said, no, I'm not copping any of this shit until that 3 gigs drops. And apparently, what it was somebody had taken the server, right? The Discord server, and opened it up in OBS and just put it on record for hours.
Well, by the way, on a slightly related note, I don't know if any of you caught it, but Zeph is releasing recorded calls today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I at least 2 of them that I listened to. They don't. I think it was mainly conversations between him and Kraut. They don't horribly indict anyone other than Zeph himself, who I think is past the point of caring. But the implications of what you're listening to doesn't make Kraut look any more innocent. Let's just put it that way.
I mean, I said in my video, I would have put the clips from the Discord in my video, but there were active video. There were people's real names and stuff, and Kraut was there confirming, yes, this is that person. Yes, this is that person. Innocent. He's not at all.
Right. And Kraut, of course, is the hubcap on all this deal.
Kraut's not even innocent by his own admission. He referred to himself as having become a monster. I mean,
yeah.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, I'll do my Kraut impression. It's like, here on the server, we are going to be not dealing with the alt-right, and every morning at 200 hours, I will wake up and do the roll call. Present for the roll call. The server. The server is your life. The server is your happiness. The server, their server, is your essence. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You've been working on that recently.
I believe you have just a little bit more practice to to get the inflection correctly. I'm working on it myself. I'm a little more German than I should be. I should be more British, because the British was to give it all credibility, to make me sound more believable, because with the German accent alone, of course, you're going to see like German shepherds and the Alp mountains, and you're going to hear the echoes of maybe yodeling in the background. But if I add the English part to it, then it's going to be a little more intellectual sounding. So we have to be careful how we do this.
Well, remember, Kraut is not a real German. He is Austrian, which is
That's why, like, I do
well, so is Hitler.
Yeah, exactly.
He doesn't say, like, he says der server, like DER. Like I don't know, it's weird. He chose to retain certain words.
Yeah, their server. See, no, their server was different from what they had. Their server was the main, like, if you're a Kraut fan. As a matter of fact, I was on the vetting list to get into their server. It was really weird because like 2 weeks before all this shit happened, I had like seen Kraut or something on the thing, and I said, "What the fuck? I guess he's resurfacing, so I want to see what he's up to, right?" And somebody said, "Well, he's got a Discord." So it took me a couple of days, and I got finally got an invite from somebody that I knew that was on his Discord and shit. And that the server that they had set aside as the what do they call it? I want to say the task force server. There was like they had 2 task force servers, right? And one task force server was purely the task force, and then they had one completely for Coach Red Pill.
Their names are so cringy. It's like 30-year-olds trying to play G.I. Joe.
Lead investigator and like the task force team and strike force out. Oh my god, it's
so like the digital fucking Justice League or some bullshit like that. We have vigilantes and we're going to save the world from this evil thought force. These people are fucking evil.
Remember, they have spies. They actually use that term, spies. Jesus Christ.
I have to admit that on at least one occasion, I had a mental image of the Nazis on Raiders of the Lost Ark during this whole thing.
Don't say that shit when I got a mouthful of shit.
Right now is when they're me.
Ich will dann zurücklaufen der Server. Nein. Sorry. I'll stop.
Round of applause.
You get a golf laugh from me. I mean, clap.
The fat clap.
That's a guy. Fat clap. It's a little faster. God, this is silly. We are having fun.
This whole instance has had a number of positive results for me personally, though. I mean, aside from the fact that I hate everyone who was in that server except one. First of all, it made me come up with the solution to the word community. I finally found something else to refer to it as. It's going to be this tiny corner of YouTube. There is no community. I never thought there was, but this just forced me to come up with an alternative name. This tiny corner of YouTube.
Well, yeah. Whenever you give like the name or anything like that, like skeptic community or whatever the heck it's mostly a drama community. If I'm being honest, like I haven't actually seen people be skeptical or anything. It's just drama 24/7.
Yeah. My inner Tonkasaw for a moment right now to discuss the fact that you, sir, have said the unironically many times. You, sir.
Me? Wait, how does this?
I meant Ben. I was saying, sir, like you addressing.
Oh, you're just mocking me. Okay.
He's mocking two of us.
I've never been a skeptic.
No, nobody here.
I'm fueled by hate, not logic.
See, I'm skeptical by fucking nature, right? And the term skeptic community just never rang with me either, because if you look at I guess the body of production by the unit of people that associate with this quote community, it's either comedy, or drama comedy, put together, because it's literally this stuff has gone from drama to drama to drama with like responses, and usually the responses get some kind of drama, right? Or it's a response to the drama. Say like, I say something to Marina, shut up, and she gets all butthurt and shit, and she does a dramatic response to what I said, and then I just laugh at her, right, in a video. And I haven't done any of this stuff. If you go through my shit, my stuff is kind of weird, I'm interested by different stuff. Now, Alex, he's a little bit different. He's glad we thwarted the alien invasion, and he's passed on the couch right now, but you never know when he's show up.
That was a great drunk impression. That was very, what's the 70s comedian's guy's name?
Yo, Foster Brooks, man.
That was Foster Brooks would have been proud.
Right, and that's that whole character is a nod and an homage to Foster Brooks's genius. People really don't know who that dude is right today.
Oh yeah, people need to watch the Dean Martin roast. That's when comedy was actually good.
Well, exactly, man. Go ahead.
I don't know who that guy is. Never heard of him.
Foster Brooks was someone who was an alcoholic and a comedian, and after he quit drinking, his shtick became acting like a drunk.
Huh.
Right. And he would and he would screw up words, and he would misinterpret situations, and so he would go on these Dean Martin roasts, especially the one where he's doing the Don Rickles. He calls him Mr. Pickles and shit like that. And it's so funny because he like implies that he fucked his wife and stuff in it, man. I mean, that is one of the, if you look, that is on YouTube.
What did he call her? Pickles.
Yeah, it's the Dean Martin celebrity roast of Don Rickles, man, and it's the dude with the white hair and it's like a curled up mustache. He's got a white beard. He's very distinguished looking, and then when he gets up there and he comes over, his shit faced. He's funny as hell. He's a brilliant comedian.
For what it's worth to anyone, I would in a general sense highly recommend the Dean Martin roast, which many of them are on YouTube. But I would even more so recommend specifically looking up Foster Brooks.
Yeah.
Although the amount of talent on those roasts in general, I mean, people. Well, I wonder how many people have forgotten these names. And even though they're after my time, I like things that are older, so that's why I know them. It was like an all-star lineup. It wasn't just comedians. It was like John Wayne and Jimmy Stewart and like the biggest names in Hollywood at the time.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it was the big folks, and it would be like, Sammy Davis Jr. and let's see. Some of the comedians that would rotate,
and their racist jokes against the blacks.
Joey Bishop. Oh my God, they were horrible, man. I mean, it's like, and
I'm not laughing at the racism aspect of it. I'm laughing at the fact that 30, 40 years ago, they could make these jokes to a black guy, and the black guy would understand the fact that they're not really being racist. They're being funny, and it's meant to be affectionate. And we have just regressed ever since then.
Oh my God. And half the shit that's on there, you can't, if you said it today during a live, situation, people, would literally, would have to disassociate with you.
Oh yeah. If someone said what half of what was said on those roasts today, their career would be over.
Well, even if you go back even a couple of years to the you know, when the Comedy Central were doing, you know, at the highlight of their roasts, you know, when they did the Bridget Nielsen one where she, you know, with when she was, you know, had fucked Flavor Flav and shit. And they also did the Flavor Flav roast. And they said some horribly, like, you know,
You look like a stick figure wrapped in electrical tape.
yeah, that had been, you know, had danced on the sun and shit. You know, it was, yeah. I mean, stuff like that. You know, talking about.
Oh, and by the way, they didn't just make fun of the black guests. They also
they
also made fun of the Jews and Italians that were.
Yeah, they said that Lisa Lampanelli had seen more black dick than the urinal at the Apollo.
Well, that's like the after chat of Phobos and friends. What like it was just a bunch of European dudes, each one from a different place, and we were all just exchanging racist quips about each European place. Like, hey guys, what's the difference between an Irish guy and a shit? Guys lost the ability to shoot the shit when they started being too sensitive.
Right. And we can blame the religion of leftism, you know. Did y'all hear about the ism to kind of change the channel? Lefty Pole had done a kind of like a hit on Aiden Paladin today.
I heard that on the Kumite.
I did too.
I don't know who they are though.
Lefty Pole is kind of like a collection of communists, and they're like a reaction to Pole on 4chan, right?
Yeah, they go on Pole, and there's just as much white nationalist stuff now as there is communist shit on Pole because of Lefty Pole. There's like a lot of Antifa stuff going on, and I feel like some of it might be trolling. But
it is, a lot of it is, you know, it's like in and they're trying, you know, they keep outing them when they pop by, but Lefty Pole is, yeah, they're on 8chan and on they're on Reddit too, but they're not on 4chan, which is interesting. But yeah, they apparently did a hit on her. I did a Google search on that before, you know, before I opened up the Hangout for this thing, just to see if I could find anything. And apparently they took the page down. So it was a good 404. So her information's safe. I'm glad that it was, you know, safe after they were able to, you know, after it got out on Kumite.
Did you hear what Sinatra's been saying about her lately?
No.
Oh, he's got a crush. Boy, does he have a crush.
Oh, who wouldn't, man? She's brilliant. You know, it's like smart people turn me on though. So
that whole Warski stream thing was a very I assume it's a one-time thing, but that was not a good look. That's as bad a look as you can have while still being mostly innocent.
I understand, and a lot of people.
Like I said, like, she's annoying, and that stream annoyed me. But I obviously, like, nobody should ever condone her being fucking doxxed because of it. Like, even if I legitimately hated everything about her, even her politics, X, Y, Z, whatever, it doesn't matter. I don't want her to get doxxed. That's fucked up.
No shit, and she's got a future.
No. And the part of it that was really pathetic.
Maybe
I mean,
if I see what she looks like, I'll change my opinion. That's what
there's a picture out there. It doesn't show her face, but it shows her with her hair covering her face.
So you can still see all the relevant.
And apparently the premise, if I'm recalling this correctly, the premise of Sinatra's crush on her, he has seen her.
I mean, like he said that she's got a chili pepper rating.
He said that I think it was last night. He said that he would take her over Lauren Southern, which is his well-known long-term crush.
Wow, she's pretty hot.
Yeah, she's very, very, very attractive. It just depends on your type, but yeah, and I'm not going to say anything else. But yeah, she's very attractive visually and intellectually. You know, brains and eyes are what get me, man. I can't stand. I don't care how pretty somebody is if they're fucking stupid.
You can debate her emotional intelligence, but intellectually, she's clearly not stupid at all.
Not at all.
Doctor,
Vanilla Bear has joined us, by the way, in the chat.
Hey, Nella. Yeah, she and I were planning on doing a Boxing Day holiday thing, you know, do a Boxing Day holiday experience, you know, the day after Christmas.
Yeah, crazy Brits and their crazy holidays.
Yeah. Well, it makes sense, you know. It's like you would have a day so you could put all your Christmas shit up, you know, and play with your toys and stuff.
And I'm still trying to. Irate Bear is going to be streaming both on Christmas Eve and Christmas. I'm still trying to convince him to do a reading of the night before Christmas.
Oh, that would be cool, man.
And if he actually did it and tried, I would totally download and save that one.
That would be, you know, that might be just something to do in the studio and just play, you know.
What's the night before Christmas, like or Lord Bear, something like that.
Oh no, I would prefer him doing his real formal voice. That would actually, I mean, he's got a nice voice. Of course, you know, I have a distinct soft spot for the British accent that isn't the fucked up British accent. Oh yeah, Viper's like, what about if I did that? Viper, it would be just as good. I encourage it.
Yeah, do it.
In fact, if you could find a way to like do it together, that would be special.
You took my idea, sir.
Yeah, I did kind of like steamroll over you today.
Shark.
'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house. Not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse.
Not even a mouse.
There is something I'm going to do this week while I'm probably cleaning. I downloaded an audiobook of Tim Curry doing Christmas stories.
Oh, cool. That's
See, I was never into Christmas stories or music or anything like that. Like I like the whole, like I like the spirit and everybody feeling like, oh, we're all gonna be nice to each other and stuff. That's cool. But like when it comes to like the festive nature and the aesthetic qualities of Christmas, I've always been such a fucking Grinch.
Oh, nicely done Christmas decorations are really quite beautiful.
They can be, yeah.
It's just most people can't do tasteful.
Everyone around here just buys one of those laser projectors. Like, oh, so we just set one thing up and it lights the fucking side of our house up. Great.
One of I tend to, I don't think any of you even know about this about me, but I tend to collect things. One of the things I collect is Swarovski. If you've ever heard of them, they make a crystal Christmas ornament every year. So I have a very expensive Christmas tree that looks just absolutely beautiful when the lights are shining through the crystal.
Not bad. Not bad.
Of course, I was too lazy to put it up this year.
So do you like colored lights or like white lights?
Oh no, they're all gold lights.
Yeah.
And then they all refract through the crystal. All of these ornaments I'm talking to you about, they're either snowflakes or stars.
Right.
And they're all faceted. So when you get a light behind them, they'll like spread faceted things across your ceiling and on your walls.
Oh, sweet. That sounds beautiful.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I love that. I mean, I'm like, you know, I'm really like, I get really ghetto and shit. I love like colors and stuff, man. And just, you know, I love those big old bulbs, man. I had them when I was a kid. You know, I mean, the bulbs that are like, I don't know, about as big as your thumb.
Headlight bulbs.
Huh?
Headlight bulbs.
Yeah, exactly. You know, that are painted. You know, they're painted these different colors.
The ones where if one light bulb was screwed up, you'd have to figure out which one.
Oh, I hate those, man. I can't stand that stuff, man. Yeah, because you really, what you really just have to do is just throw the fucking thing away and go get another one, you know.
Well, you see, that's the beautiful thing about LED is that's not going to happen for a long time.
True. We used to get those icicle lights, like the ones that was like, they were
Hello?
Yeah, he cut out.
You're having audio issues, Phobos.
Phobos. He really needs to like get on the ass of his cable company or whoever's doing his internet and just ream them. They need a reaming.
Despite my humbugish nature, I do actually like Christmas. Of course, the primary reason I like it is because I refuse to see family on Christmas, but still.
Yeah. Well, you know, I love the old songs, man. You know, you know, God rest ye merry gentlemen. That whole, yeah, you know,
I like the Dean Martin or Frank Sinatra versions, or if any of you know her, Diana Krall, who is the talentless Elvis Costello's better half.
oh wow. Yeah.
She's a big jazz singer too.
Mm-hmm.
I see. I was never. I'm not like a fan of major chords really, so I was never the biggest fan of. I'm always like one of the I grew up listening to all kinds of rock and stuff like that, and generally like darker sounding stuff.
Black Sabbath does "Hark the Herald."
What is that? Fuck the Russian Trans-Siberian Orchestra?
Siberian Orchestra. It sounds very dated these days, though.
It kind of sounds very 80s.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care what era it's from, though. If you got guys like wailing on guitars and it sounds really cool, like whatever. It's still cool. Even if it's crazy.
I have to say, modern Christmas music, the kind of shit that I'm hearing in like stores, really irritates the living hell out of me.
Oh my god!
It's like there are so many nicer versions of this with people who actually had talent. Can't you just play that?
No,
like I work
urban remixes. We got all the urban remixes.
Okay, like at my job, like 8 hours a day, I have to listen to that same crappy Christmas music. It's like, just play the old stuff, please. Don't play this 2017 version with this woman that obviously has to use like, you know, audio enhancement to even get her voice to sounding decent. Please, just give me something that's actually has talent. It's so cringy to hear. It really is.
But it's been that way for some time, though. I realized today because in the middle of the night I was grocery shopping, and I heard several songs while I was there. Then I was like, God, this is horrible. These are all like modern interpretations. And then when I'm checking out, I hear the Eurythmics. I think that was Winter Wonderland.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, thank God. I mean, this at least sounds decent. And then she starts wailing, and I'm like, fuck, I forgot. This sucks too.
Yeah. Well, Annie Lennox, man, she, you know, used to have a really beautiful. I always thought she was a great singer, you know. And when she started doing the, you know, the bluesy stuff, you know, it was I like the Eurythmic type, the stuff that she was doing with Dave Stewart, you know, and the Eurythmic under that handle, you know. And she was a brilliant singer, but it's like once she got, you know, later, I don't know, she kind of lost me, you know.
Well, I think the Christmas songs suffer the same problem that artists who sing the national anthem suffer from. They try to make it about like, see how impressive my voice is versus like,
oh my God,
versus let me do a legitimate rendition of it. And I will say, although I hate Lady Gaga entirely, a few years ago when she did the national anthem at the Super Bowl, she did it perfectly.
Yeah, and she could have she was, you know, that temptation was there to either A, fuck it up because of politics, or B, you know, get all fucking, you know,
yes. And even though I thoroughly
didn't do it because she
even,
went to
even though I thoroughly don't appreciate her politics, she didn't do anything anything political at all. She was quite patriotic in an appropriate way about it.
Yeah, she went to Juilliard, and at a school like that, they beat bad performance practices out of you, like beat it out of you, And I'm pretty sure that's why she didn't do that, because she could have done the Mariah Carey thing and been like, show off my voice, listen to how many notes I can hit. Or she could have done the fucking Sinead O'Connor and like, fight the real enemy, Donald Trump is evil or something. But she didn't do that because she's a performer. At least there's that, right?
Yeah.
Well, of course, if you go back to 1991, I think it was, when the Super Bowl was in my hometown, which by the way, it's in my hometown again this year.
Oh, cool.
I think that was the year that Whitney Houston did it, and that was spectacular too.
Yeah, but when she like the first one to like kind of do that though, that you know, she did it well. She did it well.
And I don't recall her doing anything that was outrageous. But even if she did, at least she was one of the only people, like probably only her and Aretha Franklin, as far as female singers, that could pull it off if they did.
Right. No, I agree.
Sing.
I mean, I'm no musical expert because I pretty much hate music, but it's always struck me that the ability of Mariah Carey's voice becomes irritating and screechish, whereas the ability of what Whitney Houston had back in the day was just pure talent.
Sure.
Well, I'm going to cause a big stink right here and say that I actually like Lady Gaga. So there it is.
God.
I love her music.
You are far too old.
I like
Dude, she writes her own shit, and it's usually, man, like Bad Romance is a great song. I will defend that to the day I die. and I love CeeLo Green's "Fuck You." I think that's a great song too. That's a great.
I like Rucka Rucka's cover of Alejandro. I thought it was really funny.
Oh yeah,
those taquitos or something like that.
It's
a catchy tune. That's how you know, like when you listen to a parody and you actually find yourself kind of like nodding your head to the beat and the tune, then you know like the song's not all bad.
Mm-hmm.
I saw one video of his and I thought I need to look into this more, but I never did.
Well, see, there's the art of creating a pop tune. Okay, pop music as itself is. What'd you say, bud?
I'm talking about Rucka, by the way.
Yeah, Rucka Ali. Yeah, I've seen some of his stuff, and I can actually see, you know, why he is such a big deal on YouTube. He's funny as shit. He's kind of like, you know, Weird Al Yankovic, with you know modernized, you know.
Yeah, a little edgier.
Yeah, exactly. You know, woke version. I love using that word because it's so awful.
Guys, I wanted to let you know that I'm in the running for Wokest Bay of 2017. Please hit me up, Phobos_media and hashtag Wokest Bay 2017. Tell me I'm the Wokest Bay. This is a Wokest Bay competition that I intend to win.
Well, you know, we're in private conversations with Phobos and Flame. If Phobos gets enough Patreons, he's going to start shedding some clothes.
Shedding some clothes? I forgot.
For that, weren't you, Flame? The Phobos calendar?
I don't think I saw that, and I'm pretty glad I didn't, I guess.
I guess that was just up in hack job.
No, there was nothing. There was nothing to see. It was an idea.
Oh yeah, there were no examples put forward.
I mean, oh man, what a shame.
You know,
Jack of all.
Jack.
I'm not donating. Don't worry, no dicks. There will be no dicks.
Seriously, now you're just disappointing them.
No. The talk was of an R-rated calendar, not an X-rated. This I really hope, by the way, Phobos, this wasn't supposed to be a secret.
No, it's like one of those things where like a certain amount of money on Patreon, like I really do owe the people who donate that money stuff. Like I don't know, I feel like there are a lot of people who are creators who don't feel that they owe viewers anything if they choose to donate. I don't really feel like I would owe everybody, but I feel like it's a nice gesture to like do something that not just puts me out of my comfort zone, but is also kind of embarrassing, you know? Like legs or whatever.
Well, Uzi Q said that they would vote for you.
Oh, thank
So,
you.
there you go. I mean, I'll think about it, Phobos, but I'm not sure I want to.
I mean, hell, like I don't particularly mind dudes out there fapping to me, you know? It just makes me feel better about myself, I guess, right?
Well, you know, that was the deal with fucking Mr. Repsion, you know, when he said in that video, you know, he would send his pictures of his feet, you know, to anybody.
He doesn't. He like sells his socks and underwear too, I think.
Yeah, exactly. He said that, he goes, I don't care if you fap to, you know, whatever floats your boat. You know, it's like it's $20 a shot, blah blah blah. It was funny as shit. It's like, and I think, honest to God, I think he's really making some good bank off of that shit. So
I personally, I don't like him at all, but I'm with him on that one.
He's all right.
It's not like you're doing a porn. Ugh, Liz. Ugh.
That's how it starts, though.
Of course, that's Liz's.
That's how it starts.
Liz is probably the only thing ever that didn't make up production costs.
Yeah, it's like one of those bad '60s movies, you know, that you know, you're just 2 steps away from a switchblade. Just 2 steps.
What's the thing going on with Tonka? They were interspersing the scene from The Silence of the Lambs with Liz, like, do you want me kind of thing. I want me.
Would you fuck me?
Yeah, that
I'd fuck me.
I'd fuck me. Ugh.
I wouldn't fuck me, but I would definitely be in an emotional relationship with me.
I'd fuck me hard. He puts the lotion in the basket. It does this whenever it's told.
I have to say that whole group of people has brought me like 90% of my internet joy for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
In particular, Tonka. Tonka is the laxative that this corner of YouTube needs.
I am so happy. If nothing else, this drama has made me watch a bunch of Tonka sauce shit, and it's like I became a big fan. So I would say that that's the positive thing to be taken from all this. Tonka sauce is the positive thing to be taken from all this.
I fully agree. I love his viciousness, and when I say viciousness, I mean in like only a good way.
Yeah, it's more like a feral type deal, you know.
All he's doing is delivering to people what they deserve.
Yeah, he's like an antiseptic, you know. It's you got to pour it in that wound, and man, it hurts like a motherfucker, but it kills all of that, you know, that horrible bacteria that's in there. And you know, and once it's over, you know, you feel better, you smoke a cigarette, and then you keep going on, you know. The community is a better place for it, you know. You're right. We need a balanced eye to help us all be honest. You know, that's and it's horrible that that people, when we get down to it, we're all whores, you know. B, we're all fucking attention, you know, seekers. And you know, and
yeah, you really all are.
We're all capable of this shit. That's what's the most important thing is that if you don't acknowledge and realize the fact that you're as capable of becoming, you know, an evil, you know, Kool-Aid drinking person, just like the next person, then you're in danger of becoming that. I think if you don't acknowledge the dark side of yourself, the light side of yourself cannot shine. And that's just an old philosophy that I've always tried to hold deep and be true to who I am. You know, that's all I can do. And if you're not part of that, if you're not into that, and you need, you know, more than, you know, something else, then, you know, there's other places to get stuff. But it's like, I have to be honest to me, and embrace my darkness. You know, that's one of the reasons I let, you know, I do the whole Alex Jones thing, because You know, he is an aspect of me, you know, when I get real down to the reality of it.
Well, you know, as I told at least you and Phobos, maybe Flame, a few days ago, I like to think that Tonka and I would agree on a lot of things.
Definitely. I feel like even though, I mean, I'm way more like soft spoken than he is, and I'm more like mellowed out than he is, but I guarantee you I could very fun time talking to the guy just because like we have similar views on things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I always thought that I was just one of those people who kind of like and would say things when it was necessary. Like I make my boy thing, but I make myself smaller. I make myself less imposing so that it's more of a statement when I stand up to full height, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
It's it all out there. But we're very similar in the brain, I think.
Yeah, I can see that. Especially you're kind of a chaotic neutral. You know,
Yeah.
To give it a term that a lot of people that you know watch this stuff can relate to. You know, I get it, and that's one of the things I like about you. You know, it's like when we were together Saturday and we were talking about all this shit. You were coming from a completely different place, and we were like, okay. You know, I was especially, you know, pleasantly surprised, you know, that you were, you know, you had such a completely different take on it, and it was really refreshing to hear, you know.
Granted, it was partially because I wasn't totally informed. Like, you know, I hadn't seen most of the evidence.
Well, that's the point, though. That you know, you were honestly going on your gut, and you weren't just agreeing with with me or Sir Adamantine or whatever whoever it was. You know what I'm saying? You know, because a lot of times people will hop in and they won't have all the information together, and it's just like and to be honest, you know, when I heard that there's another 3 gigs out, you know, it's like I really. You know, I might have to walk back some of the shit I've already said, you know?
And I'm less afraid these days to walk back some of the stuff that I've said because everybody understands time, and especially in this kind of situation where like I'm like in the YouTube boonies over here, man. Like I'm one of those dudes who you see him once every month when he walks into town to buy supplies and shit. But I haven't changed my opinion about that whole situation all that much. It's because the only thing that changed is now I know Kraut's got shit on his nose. It's like there's no escaping any of the implications of this. And granted, in that 3 gigs, it could come out that Kraut was like, holy shit, what have I done? This is bad. You guys need to stop. But I highly doubt that's going to happen. Like,
Right.
you got to be prepared to maybe be wrong.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you from personal experience with I Think I'm Real from the last week that it really sucks having to walk back what you did.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that the thing we told you.
I don't even know.
Yeah, never mind.
You have got a bite and a half at Griffin Beak, so I feel like if you have to walk something back, it's like you're walking back something that was on like and witty. A lot of people will walk back having to say like, "Oh, I don't believe it happened," or because you are someone who's just kind of honest in whatever endeavor you're doing. Like you might have to walk back some more significant statements.
Yeah, well, that was unpleasant, and of course that fucker retweeted it.
Of course he did.
Well, of course he did, and you know, it's like when you have an opponent that that fumbles the ball, so to speak. The whole point is that you recover it and score. To make it hurt that much more.
Well, on the bright side, he's the only one of the vicious allegations that I've made that I've had to do that to.
Yeah, exactly.
The rest have all proven to be guilty. Like that. How vulgar can I be on your stream, IRATE?
Dude, you can say anything you want to say.
All right. Unlike that fat, insecure cunt, that girl who just her innocence becomes more proven by the day. Or no, I'm sorry, not her innocence, her guilt.
Yeah.
For the life of me, understand how she thought it would be a good idea. She had that much stuff on the server that was like underneath her name, like stuff that she posted. How could she try to pull the whole crying defense?
Well, that again, see, no, that was all manipulation to see if they were going to go after her legally. Okay.
But again, she's too stupid to know how to manipulate well. No one bought it.
Well, but you know, it's like I walked back my assertion though, because she said something, and I said it completely came off as disingenuous to me and manipulative. And she said something, and I said, you know what? Okay, I'm going to take back my insult. You know, just because I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. And then all this other shit comes out, and I'm like going, fuck, I was right all along.
Yeah,
that girl is someone who would suck someone's dick in an alley if she thought it would get her 100 more subs.
Although, yes, definitely. But although, I mean, fucking the one who we actually haven't mentioned, one of the douchiest members of this entire situation, which is Jeff Holiday.
Mm-hmm.
On what comes out on this 3 gigs, he's either fucked or completely exonerated. Because so far, I haven't heard. There's this clip that people are saying is going around of, you know, on that server, very much about doxes and stuff. I haven't been able to find. If that comes out, he's fucked. If that comes out, he spent the last 3 days covering his ass and showing up on every stream that he could just to say every right thing that he thought he could say.
He's past the point of exoneration. He's been caught lying in at least 2 instances.
Yeah, but it's not as much. He wasn't caught lying in the full impacting effect of was helping dox people. Like, he's been caught lying about being there. He's been caught lying about like posted things. But I want to hear this fucking tape of him talking about Coach Red Pill's docs.
I heard it.
He's not above that. I definitely think he's capable. Out yet.
No, he knew about the red pill thing. He denied ever having spoken to the New York Times journalist, although he sent her a pathetically simpering message in there.
That was cringy as fuck, wasn't it, man?
It's exactly what I would expect out of him. Well, I mean, Ray, did you watch Worski's stream last night? Did you hear my?
Yeah, okay, yeah. I watched everything that's needed to be watched. Okay.
He's a used car salesman YouTuber.
Yeah,
I can see that.
And by the way, Phobos, I know you said you didn't think Worski would read it, but when he did, it didn't come out of his mouth easily, did it?
It didn't come out of his mouth easily, but you can tell that he's like. Okay, here's the deal. Andy Worski is not as dumb as I think people think he is.
Worski's on Kumite right now as we speak.
Smarter guy than people think he is. And he's like carefully enough, but now he's at the point where he's like, I can no longer defend anybody because my only defense is, well, I know them, they're that way. Because now there's proof. So he's actually, he's pretty much come out against Jeff at this point.
No,
he's not gonna break up the friendship over it, but it's stupid. You shouldn't have done that. Like, I gained a lot of the lost respect over this.
I agree. Andy used to be one of my favorite YouTubers until VidCon. I'm sure any one of you who knows me knows I have a big issue with VidCon. And I've had an issue with him ever since, but his last 2 or 3 streams have gone a long way towards redeeming my opinion.
And when it comes to VidCon for Andy, like, you could tell now, especially looking back on it, he was just psyched to be a part of something like that. Like, he was actually happy. And that's why his content started going to shit.
Well, no, he was also being a pat yourself on the back, unrealistic. I'm a celebrity douche. But I think as much as anything else, the growth of his sub count since then has humbled him a bit, which is good, because hopefully he can go back to being what he was.
I feel like he will. Although I hope this is kind of a random side note, but like, I hope that Chris starts his own channel, because Chris is always the dude who like he can chime in with like funny quips and stuff. Martin has a lot of knowledge behind him.
I don't get the impression that that'll be the case. Chris seems to be much more happy behind the scenes.
Yeah, I could see that, and that's totally understandable. You know, like I'm not going to begrudge him that, but I feel like he would have a lot to offer the YouTube, just the YouTube community in general, because he's a really smart dude.
Oh,
Yeah, he can go places. He really can.
I find him much more likable of the two, but the problem is, would most people?
It depends, because I mean, as much as people want to say like, oh, YouTube is about drama, we all want to yell at each other and stuff. To a certain extent, yes, people like talking about drama on YouTube. Intellectuals on YouTube. People like watching why a guy like Sargon can make 25-minute long videos where it's all him talking about politics and stuff. He's hugely subbed. Like, it means that there is still like a market out there.
Yeah, we need to talk about Sargon, y'all.
What's going on?
Do tell.
Okay, on Coach Red Pill's thing, and he asserted this earlier, okay, before all this shit started. He says he believes that Sargon is at least knew everything that was going on, okay? And
I'm sorry, who said this?
This is Coach Red Pill, and he did an hour long. Yeah, he was going to do this 5 days of revealing all this shit before it got revealed for him. So he did an hour long video, pretty much summing up what he was going to do in each one of those videos. And the last thing was about Sargon, and he was talking like, Sargon knew what was going on. And I'm not seeing any proof of that whatsoever. I'm not even seeing anything even close. And if anybody knew anything about this shit, it would be V. Okay. And V would have what?
I was just saying, yeah, I agree there, because I don't know him the best, but I have seen a lot of his videos. And he is blows. If it's gonna get him more subs, more attention, he goes there, and that's why he has a video on almost every drama that's ever happened. That implicates him, not in a direct way, but I would not be surprised at all.
Well, the only thing I've heard in regards to Sargon is that Sargon was made aware of this docs thing, and he advised them to just let it be. But I mean, even if you're just talking about rational self-interest, Sargon's subs dwarf all of these people so much that he would have nothing to gain and everything to lose by becoming involved. There's no reason why he would.
That's a smart move.
As far as V goes, I can see maybe him being slimy, and that probably has a lot to do with his voice, because that's a really slimy accent. But based upon what he said in these videos, I would be inclined to think the opposite. And certainly, if any of you heard it, Kraut's 30-second critique of V, he certainly wasn't an ally.
No, exactly. No, what I was saying is that if anyone knew about this shit, it would have been V, and he would have distanced himself from Sargon instead of last week starting a fucking D&D game with him online.
Yeah.
He would have come up with some reason to not, to get distance before, because, look, once there's some kind of shit going on like that, it's just a matter of time before it fucking blows up, and there's always some fucking rat that rolls over. And in this case, it was that girl. Okay. If you want to look at all of this shit, man,
fat rat,
that girl was the one that called in Andy Warski crying. And then boom, that's when Aiden Paladin knew that they fucking had their asses. Right. And she went in on her and was saying, no, we got you.
Yeah, then she laid down and said, "Oh, you'll be fine, that girl. You'll be fine."
Because of the tears. See, the tears manipulated her enough, and it was like I was going, God damn it, don't fucking fall for that shit, because it was all bullshit. I knew it. And so you see, there's always somebody that gives it away, because once you get something that big, there's always one person that's going to be the skittish one. And on the other side of it, it was Coach Red Pill who put out a video that Monday saying that, oh, Kraut's trying to dox me, instead of being patient and just letting all that shit develop. Because
but to be fair, who could have known this was going to happen?
Well, see, the whole deal is though, instead of 3 days worth of fucking server shit, they would have gotten 5 to 7 days. There would have been a whole week. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but it was both of them on each side of the deal. There's always somebody that's going to fucking bitch out before everybody else.
Yeah, but from what I've gathered, I don't think there's any way Coach Red Pill could have known any of this was coming. I don't think he was any more aware of this before.
No, it was through Brave and Ruin. He formed connections with all this other, like the other side of the out community, which like Edgy, Brave and Ruin is the same person, is part of the deal. And Edgy was one of the few people that would stream with them. Aiden Paladin, it was like he was able to talk to to that group of people until he kind of gets into the smaller part of the quote skeptosphere, intellectuality, or whatever you want to call it. Smart people, educated people, whatever. Like JF, who had all these people had low subs, but his appeal and his videos were to MGTOW City, man. Anyway, I don't want to get off on him, but the whole deal is that's kind of how he worked his way into that, and his knowledge of it was based on probably on what Brave and Ruin or Edgy was telling him.
Can I just say, by the way, I'm really happy that Jeff Holiday has finally made it abundantly clear to everyone what a piece of shit he is.
Well, and that was something I was going to bring up, is that the biggest at this point, the biggest story, if you want to use that term, from a journalistic point of view, is how Jeff betrayed close friends, people that he had known for years. And it's really weird. His motivation is just not clear to me. Why get in on all that? Instead of saying, "Look, dudes,
I think Jeff Holiday's physical appearance was always a telling part of what his personality ended up to be. He's a piece of shit.
Yeah, well, see, and then there's this stuff about here. All right,
he's a human rat.
The timeline starts with fucking Rage After Storm. Okay, yeah. The timeline begins of all this deal to me begins when they fucking did the lynch mob on Andy's show. All right, it was Andy Worski's show. It was Derek, some black guy that freaked out on Twitter 3 days after Rage After Storm had put out this video, and they all had gotten back from VidCon. All right, so they were all freshly, off the Love Boat and shit.
Another piece of shit, by the way.
All right, well, hold on. All right. So he sees her video on race realism, quote, and sees the, her citations at the bottom were like Stormfront and stuff like that. All right, I've still got a copy of the video, and I can see it was nothing but a huge fucking troll, and it's poking fun. All right, and I don't think, and so, but anyway, so Derek freaks out on Twitter, and 2 hours later, Andy Worski's, got the thing open, and it's, it's him, it's Derek, it's Casara Vera, it's Crowd and T. Let's see, Chris.
By the way, Casara Vera, that girl, part 2, just not fat and ugly.
I don't know. I don't know anything really about her. She has a capacity to be funny, in my opinion, but she doesn't make enough stuff, that I've seen. And I'm trying to think. There's 2 other people that I'm missing. I had Crowd and Derek Casaravera, Andy, Chris. Was it Blair? No,
yeah, it was Blair's. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm thinking of Crazy Hair.
Yeah, that was the crazy hair thing. It was God. There was two other people. Jeff was one of them. Huh? It was Blair. Okay, yeah. All right. Uzi says it was Blair too. So it was those 7 people. Okay, that they were demanding that Rage After Storm, who was living in Europe at the time, right? This was like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So in Europe, that would have been like what, about 10 or 11 o'clock at night. They were demanding that she show up and explain her video, right? And at that time, they were taking that video apart, and it was like every time I think about it, it's like, hell, I wouldn't want to face that group of people.
It would have been just as unfair if she did show up. I mean,
exactly, it would have been intimidating as fuck.
Several of these people can't have an argument on their own. They need their gang behind them.
Exactly.
And I would just
and that's Kraut's fucking MO. That's Kraut. You know, in my opinion, that he was the one that put that together.
I mean, like I said, I think I might have said this before the stream started. I don't remember, but Kraut is someone who, if you actually had a debate with him, he would be infinitely easy to dismantle down to a irrational ball of rage. It wouldn't even be hard. He needs those people behind him, or he can't do anything on his own.
Exactly. It's like that Andy Worski's cream.
He can sound smart, and that intelligence is incredibly questionable. But even if he had it, you can manipulate his emotions. I mean, you could play that like a piano.
Also, there's always this big problem that I have with people who aren't very smart but have very smart friends.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know the biologist. He's a biochemist, and he's going to tell you why you are so wrong. It's like, okay, how about you don't talk to this guy? He literally, it's like he talks to the guy for like 30 minutes before he goes on a stream, and then spouts all these fucking talking points that he doesn't understand. His friend is. So when he listens to his friend giving his spiel here into his shitty argument. So it's like he claims to have all these scientists behind him and stuff, misconstruing what they say just to suit his narrative. It's like, that's not what you do.
Right. And the way I've seen him is that he has the logical process, like, you know, deductive reasoning, right? And deductive, using deductive logic in an argument, right? Yeah. He was really strong and able to do that. And also he has this way of coming at you, bowling you over and keeping pushing, right? So he gets you on your back foot and keeps pushing you, right? And that's his technique. Because I saw him take vegan gains to pick apart with the whole vegan thing. It was when he and Bering went against vegan gains and Ask Yourself, right? But Kraut did a great job. See, that's really what drove me into like liking Kraut.
Yeah, but you know what?
When I saw him do that, man, because he took him apart, you know, and that's a really good example of him, you know, using his, you know, powers for the force of, you know, of good, if you want to use that term.
I'm not familiar with the debate you're talking about, but you may want to look that one up again, because everyone thinks of Bering as just some funny bear, but he is exceptionally good at ripping people apart. Yeah.
What he would do was, they played good tag team, right? And you know, Bering would set him up, and then Joe, aka Kraut and T, would knock him down. And that was the deal that they were doing. So wherever, you know, Bering felt like he was weak, he would let Kraut step in. So you're right, actually, Adamantine. You know, now that I think about it, but it did impress me, the Kraut. But
I think it was I think it was Cognitive Thought, but it may have been someone else who described Bering's debate tactics perfectly. he will just sit there and ask people questions, and they'll answer, and he'll be like, "Oh, yeah, yeah," and keep asking them until he's trapped them into arguments he can just rip apart at will. I mean, and I've seen this, and he's very good at it. If he actually tried to like do this, which I wouldn't recommend, versus the humor value he provides, he would be excellent at this as well.
Yeah, and what I see him doing is now is that he is sitting back and he is going to wait probably till after the first of the year to make any comment about any of this shit, to make sure that everything's out. But he's being patient, and he's going to wait for all the information to come out. You know.
Well, as far as Barron goes, I mean, he's obviously smart on many levels. He's the only big channel in our section of YouTube that's actually growing at any appreciable rate. All of the rest are dying.
Yeah, he just needs to stop advertising for
the shilling is getting mundane faddish. And speaking
about the shilling, it's just that his shills in the beginning of his last couple of videos have been for like a "hey, we'll cheat on your paper for you" type of service.
About that.
Like I just it's like fuck off, get out of here.
By the way, speaking of mundane fat, Mr. Medicare put out a very nebulous tweet earlier today. It had to do with mundane Matt and pedophilia, and he didn't. He made it very unclear. It had something to do with being and I don't know if it's been clarified since, because I haven't paid a great deal of attention to Twitter in the last 3 or 4 hours, but it had something to do with mundane fat and some sort of admin on some chat, Reddit perhaps. I don't know if mundane fat was the actual moderator in question, or if it was one of his moderators. But someone was apparently asking for underage girl pics.
Oh.
And because I'm me, I hope to God it's mundane fat. I hope his wife leaves him and takes the baby, so he can't whine about how he needs money for that too.
Oh, dude, he does those videos with that fucking baby slung across his shoulder, and he's like, "Oh, sorry, the baby's sleeping." Then why the fuck are you talking in its ear, you stupid cunt? Put it to
why don't you wait
to see your kid so you can beg for money?
Yeah. Well, you know how mundane fat could get more money to raise his child? He could eat less.
He could edit his videos.
Mr.
Yeah.
Really,
More time.
He makes it seem like it's so hard to be mundane Matt, and it's like, dude, I could pump out 3 videos in a day if all I did was talk for 15 minutes and didn't edit it at all. But I don't do that because I like this thing called quality.
I could take a brief perusal through the news, and I could cover 10 times the information in the same time it took to listen to one of his videos on one subject. Yeah. Because Mr. Super Geek inserts his foolish geekiness through 90% of the video that isn't the other 50% that's ads. Or as the lovely Lady Viper says, 2 minutes of content, 10 minutes of waffle.
And I don't know if it's like just me, but something about like people who do that whole thing where they have like their end screen is just them on camera. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, please head over to Patreon and make a one-time donation via PayPal. Any little donation helps. Thanks so much. And it sounds so fucking.
Oh, and by the way, yeah, I told you this once, Phobos. At someone of his advanced age and weight, saying peace out at the end, very undignified, especially when you have some sort of like whatever the fuck that hand symbol is. Act like an adult. You're supposed to be a father now, not some sort of puke.
I don't know. It's just something about those, and like something about the whole video recorded end screen annotation thing bugs me, because it's just like an extra little bit of begging, and they try to act really fake. Their voice always like rises more levels than it normally does. I'm just not a fan of that kind of like. Yeah. If I'm gonna put on one of my videos an end shill page, it's sure as fuck is not going to be my ugly mug looking at the camera.
We'd welcome that.
Let me just add one final thought on Mundane Fat. I don't even dislike him. I think that if you met him in real life, he's probably a really nice guy.
Oh yeah.
But he is talentless, at least 10, if not 20 times over subbed. And he, much like Jeff Holiday, they share a similar problem, which is they have no respect for the intelligence of their audience, quite clearly.
Yeah.
Because they're willing to assume their audience will put up with this condescension. The really bad part about this is that's a cynical, disgusting view, but they're right, because their followers are such sheeple. Which, by the way, let me just hog the mic here and like flow that into a similar conversation. I have the distinct urge to purge a good portion of my followers on Twitter. I mean, I don't have that many followers. I've got like 400. There are 20 of them that I would either there are probably 20 of them that I really should unsub to, and another 20 at least that I should mute, because God, they're enablers. They're just disgusting little, like, if I like you, yay.
Yeah. Nothing you can do is wrong because I like you.
I hate that. I really do.
Let's just move on from the drama. I mean, you know, the guy raped the woman in an alley and then slit her throat. Let's just move on from the drama.
Guys, this is just so dramatic. Guys, you really shouldn't talk about drama that you're not involved in. That's how, that's how conversations work. You can only talk about things you personally have experienced.
This entire drama is going to kill my ramen-filled heart.
I just want Bunty King to fucking Zodiac kill me already. Bunty, so you can fucking be done with this shit.
Flame, sodium is going to kill your ramen-filled heart.
I mean, technically it's both of them, isn't it? Like, the sodium in the ramen, but the ramen's in my heart. Never mind.
Okay, I was just on Twitter and I looked at that and it was a quote. It was from one of the tapes, and it was talking about the guy was soliciting nudes from it was just one snippet from the gig, the 3 gigs that already dropped, and it said this guy was soliciting nudes of teenage girls and also ran the Discord server for Mundane Matt.
Okay.
So that's what, I needed to check that out.
Well,
that's humongous news.
Well, and if that's what it is, in all fairness, I can't really fault Mundane Fat for that.
Yeah,
I mean, you never know what lies.
Medicare, you know how this dude is, man. He never fucking he must be a lawyer in real life, because he never makes any kind of assertions, that he doesn't already have the complete proof of. So this is interesting, man. It says, which was all right. And then here's the follow-up. It says, if this is true, I doubt Matt knew. Okay, this is the response to that, right? And he Medicare says, which is the point of me linking it to him. It was some of Kraut audio recordings, and I was half paying attention when it popped up. So it says, I've got that's kind of the way that he's trying to spin that, right? And he's also says something about, I've had all sorts of special individuals showing up on my timeline the last few days, from LARPing cats into the Geico caveman. Holy shit! I didn't realize. This is interesting. This is his whole fucking page today is full of, I mean, he is still throwing shit out there. And he's 22 minutes ago, he put up a thing of Coach Red Pill saying he was a complete fucking bitch. And I think that's the end of his video, or I think he's talking about Sargon on that. And he says shots fired.
You know, I really wasn't familiar at all with Medicare until the last few days. Yeah, I had watched 1 or 2 videos. The only thing I really gleaned off of him is he has a good radio voice, but I don't really even know where he stands.
Yeah, I don't know the guy. I haven't seen any of his videos. Haven't seen any of his.
He's fairly popular though, isn't he? All right. I mean, isn't he like
yeah, yeah.
You know how many subs he has?
Yeah, let me look. I'll pop him up real quick. He's got a couple.
500 million.
Nah, I'm not sure about that. Let's see.
Someone beat PewDiePie? Oh my god. Finally happened.
I'll be PewDiePie.
But everybody, you know, everybody who is anybody knows this dude. And he's got almost 100. Well, no, right at 185,000.
No, well, that's awfully good.
That's it's nothing to sneeze at. And I guarantee you, half of them are content creators. You know, that's
he must be slightly removed from the in quotation marks community then, because otherwise I would have known him a long time ago.
He's removed from everybody. That's his whole deal. Is that if it gets his attention, he'll give it attention.
So he's wide.
Yeah, exactly. His scope has gone from everything from, you know, the guy with the glasses. You know, he did like 6 hours on that dude, man. And his whole he starts at the day the dude quits his job and tells them basically to fuck themselves because he's gonna like have a YouTube career. And then it goes up complete through, and his meltdown and shit, man. I mean, it's like, it's cringy as fuck, but I mean, it's mesmerizing cringe. Yeah, man. Medicare, you don't want the Medicare, like the surprise tweet, like, oh, by the way, and then your name in quotes, you know, pop up next to that. You know, I guess he's the YouTube version of the 60 Minutes, what they used to be. you know.
Well, I did notice Braving Ruin, who has done an excellent job the last few days, has sent several tweets just desperately trying to get Medicare's attention. So I can see that. I would guess he's one of those people, based upon what you said and based upon Braving Ruin's tweets, that could pretty well decimate a person if he chose to. And his video comes out tomorrow.
Oh, so he's waiting to release it till tomorrow?
Well, apparently he was supposed to release it today, but he's adding things to it, so it's not coming out.
And see, and that's why I believe that the whole base mama thing was going to go on at 4, because I think that they think that he was going to drop it. It was for my time, I put it that way. That they were going to do the stream with Derek, because I think they were trying to
there'd be nothing useful out of that.
I think that there's some terrified information that relates to Kilroy.
That's
you know,
some black guy is just like the worst of this group of people. They're the YouTube equivalent of oil companies. They will collude together to not allow each other to look bad as much as possible when they do things like gang up on crazy hair or
see, that should have been either, you know, like private, you know. I totally agree about that, man. That was just cringy as fuck. But I mean, it was mesmerizing cringe, man.
That girl could have killed herself. Clearly she's got some issues, and
she's got psychiatric problems.
What, did you literally mean that girl, or you mean the Nazi girl?
In the crazy hair, like was so horrible.
Well, maybe, but I have no sympathy for that sort of thing. They're Braving Ruin towards the end of last night was tweeting out tweets like, "I'm really worried about Kraut. If any of you know him personally, please, you know, make sure he's okay." It's like, fuck that. He dug his grave. If he's stupid enough to kill himself, that's on him.
Okay, really? Kraut's gonna do all this shit, and she's trying to say, like, if anybody knows him in real life, just please make sure he's like He's being a complete fucking jackass. Everything that happens to him, he kind of just. I'm sorry, he kind of deserves it at this
What
point.
he did, honestly, is beyond jackassery. Like, at this point, I'm obviously never gonna say, oh, a person deserves to kill themselves. Is right.
It's
If
but
he makes
it's not an issue. It's not an issue of deserve. It's an issue of if you're that stupid. It's no one's fault but your own. And as far as Kraut goes, he's a far too egomaniacal jackass to ever kill himself. I
know.
mean, in Kraut's mind, if he killed himself, the universe would literally end for everyone.
they have kraut, and if you don't have kraut, then you can't have your life.
He'll probably
It's
kill himself if he can't find his spies.
it's no different than that girl saying I'm going to quit Twitter every other day, but then she keeps tweeting. These people.
Wait, what? She actually does that? Are you kidding me?
I'm quitting.
She's done that like every day for the last 5 days.
Holy shit! I gotta follow her just to quote that every time now.
Get ready to feel vomitous.
It's honestly, when she goes on a stream, dude, it's like, what are you even fucking doing? Point of this stream, it is literally just to have her fans blow smoke up her ass.
Did you ever see the any of you ever see the Whitey and Gemini?
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah, that tells you everything you need to know about her. Is the judging looks of YouTubers stream they did.
Well,
She shows up out of nowhere, which means she's just got her fucking ear to the wind waiting for someone to say something about her so she can get some views.
see, she's like, there's a whole group of, all right, you want to go here? Let's go there. Okay. God damn it. There's a whole group of fucking, 20 something girls that they're pimping themselves out to these guys with their Patreon. And they just want to be told how pretty they are. And if somebody challenges them on anything, these guys will white knight their ass until everybody goes away.
The 30-year-old virgins.
Exactly, 30-year-old virgins, or old men with with guilt issues. I don't know.
Yet the ones who are actually good looking and talented, like Weibo Jones, they don't feel the need to do that.
Right, because Weibo is smart enough to, man, she is one of the smartest people that's on fucking YouTube. Her brain is as big as Aiden Paladin's, and I'll put that down right now. I'll challenge.
I fully agree with you. She is smart on many different subjects.
Right,
whereas that girl who's blissfully self-unaware is aware enough to realize that she's an empty shell who can only make losers compliment her looks, because no one who isn't a loser is gonna.
Right. Well, and Weibo doesn't need to be told that she's attractive, Even
if Weibo wasn't attractive, which she's relatively attractive, she wouldn't need to be, because she's smart and she has a personality.
Exactly.
She has content. She actually creates content that when you're watching it, you don't even really think about Weibo and the fact that she's like a pretty girl. You think, okay, she's talking about something that matters, and she has an opinion that isn't cookie cuttery.
Right.
Yeah.
And
she would be someone that would be pleasant to talk to on a one-on-one basis. Can anyone say that about that girl? I mean, my God, what a mind-numbing lobotomy a conversation with her would be.
I'm sorry, man. You're cracking me up, and it's like, and it's at her expense. But it's like she has been so duplicitous on all this shit, man. It's just, this is making her look worse and worse by the day. And she's trying to I don't know. But Phobos, I was going to point, you remember we did that thing on Catalonia, you and I and Weibo, and we actually sat, and it was almost like an old school version of Meet the Press. And it was one of the most intelligent conversations I've had with two younger people ever. And I would love to do something like that again, because that was really cool, wasn't it? What did you think about it, Phobos?
I thought it was really fun. I like the fact that, like, I don't know, man. It's like, it seems like when I talk about stuff like Catalonia, everyone's always concerned about other kind of stuff. So to have 3 people who are smart talking about Catalonia in a room was super fun. And Weibo being there, I've been watching Weibo for a while, and I was always like, just kind of under the impression that she was one of those YouTubers. You know, she's like a bigger YouTuber. She doesn't have time for people like me. But it was actually really nice to sit down and talk to her. She's a very smart girl. She really is.
And that's kind of the reason I saw like putting you two in the same room together, because I see both of y'all as like, you know, kind of two sides of a similar coin, with the, you know, with the intellect and the, you know, and of course the ability to be funny. But I really wanted to see, you know, what that would look like. And I'm glad we did it. And, you know, and people will occasionally pick that up. And, you know, and I'll get comments on Twitter, you know, still about it. So, I'm still glad we did it. What?
I love that about live streams. Like, generally speaking, my videos get about as much exposure as they're going to get 8 hours. But with the live streams, people want to know what you said back and forth, because it's not like you can tell what the whole stream was about from the title. So they'll watch it over again. Some subs just because like they randomly showed up on one of my streams or something like that.
Exactly. And that's just that's one of the nifty, you know, benefits. And see, man, that's why I love streaming, because the IRATE prostate part of this whole deal, you know, not the Alex thing. The Alex thing can be like scripted and stuff, and you know, kind of go off on ideas and do production and stuff. But I'm best live. You know, when, you know, I had so much radio experience, you know, and it was like I was really good at it.
I think that the response video genre is dead, and until they come up with something better, if there is something better, live streaming is the best format.
And then that way, if a stream, you know, gets hot or gets on fire and stuff, everybody goes, "Holy shit, you missed this!" Or blah blah blah. You know, everybody goes back and they watch it. You know, so there's the you know, possibility for, oh God, can you believe what they said? Oh my God.
Oh, well, I mean, if you have the right trashy content, I mean, Zeph has like under 300 subs, and he had like 600 people watching his live stream the other day just because of what it was about.
Right. Yeah. Well, he put himself at the center of this shit. And, you know, well, you know, sometimes, you know, you reap the wind or whatever, the whirlwind. I'm
in no way advocating anyone being a fan of Zeph. He's a human piece of shit. But I'm just saying, yeah, you can get a lot of views off of the right subject.
Exactly.
Since this drama, it might have actually been since the Helen of Detroit thing, but I think it's actually since this drama, like a downvote per video, pretty much. Was that Zeph or Liz, or was it maybe Helen? I don't know, but it's like it just seems like they're so fucking concerned, they're fucked, that they're looking at whoever is saying their name.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I'm an old man with nothing to lose, man. So it's like, you know, bring it.
Just wait until we all have scale, and
I'm doing this for shits and giggles, Holmes. That's all I'm doing it for, you know.
Like where you are right now, you're actually more respectable than most people, like some black guy and all the Jeff Holiday and everything like that. You actually have people who actually like you, like those guys. So that's something.
Yeah, and that's kind of a that's kind of an honor, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, when you think of that shit, and I can, you know, and it does, you know, kind of sound like rationalizing a little bit, but the honest truth about it is that I really value my subs, because I believe my subs have excellent taste.
Well, you know, the nice thing for all of us is we're such nobodies that when someone actually gives us a compliment, there's no reason for them to lie. Whereas, whereas people like Jeff Holiday have had false compliments blowing up their ass for years.
You know, it's interesting to see that little deal that was going on with Nick, and it's like I haven't seen a lot of tweets by Nick today.
No, he went off on a bunch of them last night and got thoroughly defeated by Tonka on pretty much every one.
Right. Well,
By the way, you degenerate alcoholic, this is how you do drunk, not what you're doing.
Sir Adamantine showing them how it's done, one drink at a time.
Oh, and I always hated him too. What a pretentious, I think I'm talented piece of garbage. Who the only thing he can muster is like 27,000 subs that never grow.
Who's that?
The Wizard of Cause.
Yeah. He's one of those dudes who, like, I've never seen a Wizard of Cause video. I've only ever seen him, guess what, surrounded by that clique. Like,
right.
Yeah. Like he's been on like what the Warskis. I've seen like a little clip of it on a Ranting Monkey video. I have never watched any of his videos.
Pretty sure he won't be on the Warskis again.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and I think that's something that Andy needs to look at with the live show is that instead of, giving ground and attention to people that are fucking huge, that already have the subs and attention and stuff, to maybe to take people that have a small number of subs, and and I know that I'm not throwing any hints out there or anything because I know I know that people are going to take this and say, see what what a kiss ass this dude is, but you know what I'm saying.
No. One of my legitimate insults of the Warski live stream is they have a very small recurring cast of characters that's very stale, and all it does is remind me of the suite at VidCon.
Yeah, and there's some truth to that, I think, and I think that maybe that's the reason that he and Chris, kind of put the brakes on the live thing, because he said he's starting to think about doing a thing with a couch and and a desk, kind of Carson-esque. He was throwing that idea out there last week. Did you hear that, Sir Adamantine?
I didn't hear that, but from as soon as this whole debacle started with Kraut, the things that Andy has said that don't directly revolve around this have been very promising things, like the I don't give a shit if they're my friends anymore. I don't give a shit about pleasing what I think will be the greatest number of people. I really hope he goes with that, because then he could actually truly grow at a good pace again.
Well, I think that, man, when you go with your gut instead of going with what you hope your subs will like, there's something. Here's what Tonka says, man, and I really appreciate this dude's wisdom, because people don't realize he's got 15 years of fucking professional wrestling under his belt, right? The dude was out there doing it, right? He knows how to market and how to fucking entertain. And he said this. He said, "Your subs don't know what they want. They don't know what they want." And that hit me so hard, man. It was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
I can do stuff that actually I'm interested in, and and get subs. And holy shit, guess what? It's happening.
Well, in my utterly biased opinion, Tonka will be bigger than any of them in a year.
Yeah.
And another thing people don't really understand is you have 150, 250,000 subs. You've got, even if you got like 250,000 subs, you maybe have 2,000 of them whose opinion you should care about, because those are the ones that do everything that supports you.
Exactly. There's so many alphas on YouTube, and people, what I call Tonka is what I call an apex alpha, because he is kind of, what he's doing right now is he said fuck it a long time ago, and he's basically said, I only got 3 friends on the internet, and that's it. Everybody else is fucking fair game. And I kind of like that, you know.
By the way, have you heard what he said in the last 2 days about when people were talking about like Kilroy and like doing alternative meetups where he's like, I don't want to meet any of you people.
I know that.
I love that.
That was so fucking
so
cool. I went, goddamn, thank you, man, because that was so honest. It's like, I don't want to meet people either. You know, I like doing my thing with my woman here, and sitting, you know, here doing this with y'all, you know, but I do like to, you know, leave it on the net.
Because, I mean, what's really going to happen if we meet up? We're going to be doing the same exact shit, except we're not live, and we're going to be, what, drinking, maybe? And that's it.
Hey,
You know, the same thing, getting drunk off our asses at home. Why can't we just do it like this?
Well,
You
your heroes.
you three and Lady Viper and IRATE Bear are my best friends on this whole thing, and I don't want to meet any of you.
Right, exactly, man. That's kind of the deal, you know. It's like the internet, where, you know, you can be yourself, and you can have internet friends, and then you can, like, you know, when everything's said and done, you can turn the computer off.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what Tonka said the other day. I can close the window and I'm done with you for the day.
Exactly.
That's a great friendship.
And it's one of those things where if you're on YouTube here, quote unquote friend, because of subs, that's not a friend. It's like, my friends on YouTube are all of you guys, and they're the ones that I just ended up streaming with. I ended up getting to know you guys, and you're all cool. There's a lot of people who it's just like, oh, well, I sub to this person, and they tweet at me every once in a while, so that means we're friends, and that makes me feel more validated, so I donate more money to them and stuff. It's almost fucked up.
Yeah.
It's trying to play people for money.
Well, the deal, you know, it's the whole finance thing, man. That just makes it all fucking like dirty, and, you know, yeah. And I have a tendency, I get jealous on that kind of shit, so I just don't look at it now. I just say, fuck it, I'm just going to do this, and whatever happens is going to happen. I do have some, you know, some channels, you know, that allow me, you know, over this last week, all my streaming, and I forgot to do my Streamlabs today. But, you know, I've made like $3. And that, you know, and I really value that fucking $3, man. That means a lot to me. And then, of course, there's the money that I've made from Patreon, which is $5. So I've made $8, and that's the most important $8 that I've ever made, man.
Yeah, man. Same here. Like, when I
don't
know, it just feels like it feels like I really earned the money that I got from. Well, I haven't gotten any money from YouTube yet, because, like I said, like I haven't made ad money yet, so they won't let me take money out. But I've made money on Patreon, and it just feels like proved of the thing that I made, and that is the most important thing. It's like,
it's a pat on the back, man.
Yeah, it just makes me feel great. Like,
right, and it's a pat on the back saying, keep doing what you're doing, make more. You know, we want to see more, and, you know, and I got a personal request this morning. They want me to, you know, a couple of people have asked me to do more of the shit-faced Alex Jones stuff. So guess what? I'm coming back, people. Boom.
Just don't go on about the frogs being gay, please.
Man, fucking goddamn with the fucking frogs. Jesus fucking Christ. With the fucking frogs. The frogs are stupid. They're not important.
I will say, IRATE, your Alex Jones impersonation is magnitudes better when he's drunk.
I told you that, and I knew that from the very beginning. I woke up with that. It was a dream, and it was clear. I woke up and I said, holy shit-faced Alex Jones. And I swear to God, that's the truth. I woke up with that in my head. It's like, so I don't rule anything out. So I'm implying that it was possibly divine intervention. It was divine intermission. Jeez. Holy moly, America.
America.
Love you. I'm sorry.
I was Skeptalk in the chat says, stay close to your subs, Phobos Media. That seems to be a key to success. Even Sargon tries his best to be accessible. And yeah, that's onto my creator studio. There's almost always a new comment. Like, I noticed that my videos, while they don't get like views, I get a lot of comments per views and a lot of engagements per views. And I think to me that means that the people who are watching, they got something to say about it, which I think both of those things are good.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. I don't know, Veneficus, what do you're like, you're kind of like, what word am I looking for? You're kind of like a young person in this, you know, it's like we're all kind of like in the same class. You know, it's like if you want to, like, you know, compare this thing to school, it's like we're all in a similar class, age group, you know, YouTube wise.
What do you mean exactly? I'm kind of drawing a blank.
Well, I think what I'm saying is that you're kind of like just a little younger than we are, you know. It's like you're like where I was like 2 months ago or a month ago. You know what I'm saying? And I want your take on what you're seeing and hearing, you know.
Saying and hearing on like what's been going on with the drama, or what like with my
just
channel.
The whole thing, like, you know, something I was just thinking about was Discord. And you know, and I don't fucking understand, you know, the whole need for Discord, right? As a content creator.
That's not just you, IRATE. It's a worthless platform. It's only there in case Twitter collapses.
I like it to the extent that I can, since I have a Discord server of my own, I can just kind of like post my videos there and then at everyone. Didn't see it on Twitter or whatever, or if they don't follow me on Twitter, they'll see the video and they can watch it and stuff. I get some conversations that are funny on my Discord, but I haven't really been on there in a long time. I usually just use it for like so that people can message me.
Let's see.
Well, I mean, for Discord, for me, like, I only really got into because one of my friends I have, like, in real life, he actually, you know, he actually wanted me to get one so he could be in a chat, the way he could maybe talk to one of his friends he had a crush on, so I could just be there, like, the third wheel, like, be like a wingman, basically. It's fucking stupid. I don't actually see what the difference between Discord and a lot of other blog sites are. It's really kind of dumb. I would rather just be, again, on Twitter, Minds, or like I'm on YouTube, so people just, you know, comment me, and I can just do a whole like comment chain or private message me or whatever. It's just I don't. Wait, what?
You mentioned Minds.
Yeah.
I'm either the worst Minds user ever, or Minds is a fucking site. It gets nothing. I get no views at all on Minds. Like literally, like nobody looks at my posts, even when I boost them. I just don't like it.
Yeah, me neither. I'm kind of seeing that as well. Like whenever the whole entire tree approach happened, I thought I was gonna get banned, even though I'm tiny, so it doesn't even, I don't know why I even feared for that. So I basically put the link there, but it's like it doesn't make sense even with the boost and everything like that. I used to do like my written reviews, even put some of my video reviews out there and like use it and all that shit. And no one interacts, no one likes, no one comments. It's like unless you actually have a following on YouTube, your followers on YouTube will communicate with you on there. But if you're trying to get like new followers on Minds, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's kind of like a one-way street, not a two-way. It's kind of stupid.
Yeah. But by the way, IRATE, let me just say, sorry to pick on you, Flame, but Flame's not a good one to talk to about Discord because I've had a friend invite out to him for the better part of a month, and he's just ignoring it. So he either hates me or he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
Wait, what? I have not.
Well, we just figured out which one it was, apparently.
But Who's been inviting me? I'll go on my phone. Who am I ignoring? Like,
You're ignoring me, you bastard.
no, I'm
And
not. I'm in the thing, aren't I?
I actually
Yeah.
probably a lot of people think that I ignore them on Discord, but it's not that I'm ignoring them on Discord. It's that like I still really talk to on Discord is Neela, and it's just because she sends me have to edit for the comic and stuff like that. Like I don't know any other way to contact her other than email, so that's how I do that. When I'm on Discord, it usually seems like there are some people in my Discord server, but it's like that's their secondary. It is definitely like a secondary to Twitter.
Again, I just don't see the point of Discord. It's just
fully agree with you. In fact, the main use I've gotten out of Discord by accident is thoroughly insulting people who send me messages that I well, not even on purpose. Now, people that send me messages and I catch it like 3 weeks later, like, oops, can't make that stream you had 3 months or 3 weeks ago.
well, it's like one of the things I don't like is whenever channels actually make like. I'm sorry, Phobos, if this comes off wrong with you as well, because I know you have like a Discord Patreon sort of thing. You just like give invites and everything like that. I'm not trying to. Let me get to my point. I don't like whenever people make like a donation tier to become part of someone's Discord. It's like, why should I pay you $5 to go on your Discord, dude? What the living? What the literal shit, man?
Is that a thing though? Do people do that?
Yeah. Who is it?
I mean, the reptile do that.
I'll give you a page.
No, not this reptile. It's somebody that I follow. His name is Shammy TV. Like he's actually my main inspiration on YouTube. But his reward tiers is like the first one's like $1. Is like like he does like this whole entire joke thing where he just like put the name as thanks for the cash, nerds. I thought that was pretty funny, so I've been donating to him for a long time. But like his $5 tier gets you access to his Discord, and it's like, shouldn't that be available for everyone who's giving you money, considering we're giving you money?
Wait, whose is this again? I lost that.
Shammy TV. He's a game reviewer. Like you probably don't know who he is, but it's just like.
No, but I don't like that, honestly. Like I'll give you a role in my Discord server that's like says you're a patron or whatever. But
yeah.
Other than that, it's like I'm not going to restrict access to my Discord. I don't even like restricting access to videos. That's why I have never made a pay-per-view video.
Yeah, it's just very scummy. It's like, why should I pay you $5 to go on your Discord, man? Why?
I have an inferiority complex when it comes to the stuff that I create. So it's like, even if I say, oh, this video is behind a paywall, in my head, I'm saying you're fucking charging people for this video that you probably don't even think is good.
Exactly.
I don't like it.
The people who do the early access to my videos thing, first of all, I don't get Patreon rewards, period. I have no idea what my supposed rewards are. But the ones who do the early access to your video, it's like most people don't even watch your video till it's been out for a day or so. No one gives a shit.
Yeah, they want to be bearing. Like bearing, people will fucking give him $5 to see his video early. But that's
Look,
bearing.
I love bearing, but I'm perfectly fine to watch him a day late too.
Oh, so am I. Honestly, like I feel like the YouTube algorithm is because it encourages you to clickbait. It encourages you to try to get as many viewers in the first 24 hours that you possibly can. Their YouTube names, they change their YouTube titles, and they change their the thumbnails after a day, because no longer is it clickbait mode. Now it's just steady views mode.
Yeah,
more about steady views, because if you have a channel, someone could click on your channel. They have no idea who you are. Like several hours of videos, and enjoy them all. Like. That's how I feel like that's the biggest way that people really are gonna steadily find subscribers. A video out every day. I'm never gonna do daily content, but you see people like Chris Raygun who somehow managed to like game the system. They put out like a video a month, and for whatever reason, they still have a crap ton of
You're
subs.
being extremely generous. It's more like a video quarter.
Yeah. Good videos, yeah, but like, how the fuck do you get YouTube to promote them for you when you only make one like a month? Like,
well, he doesn't need to anymore. He's got 500,000 subs, and God knows what kind of Patreon he's got going.
me mad.
By the way, just to add an addendum from several conversations ago when I listed off my only like real YouTube friends, I forgot Uzi Q because when I
laugh
because when I deal with couples, I consider them like the same person.
I understand.
But she actually is the one out of all of you that I talk to the most.
Yeah.
So just want to throw that.
I'll show up on Twitter and I'll have like.
I think you said YouTubers anyway when you were talking earlier.
Well, I merge YouTube and Twitter into one because, quite honestly, a lot of people who are solely Twitter, like me, are far more entertaining than YouTubers.
Well, okay. I will not argue with you because I like you.
Well, you're both.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Come on. Well, I mean, because I made a joke about. Well, I'm not going to say anything about him because I like him. Come on.
280 characters can give you a sort of brevity that's hilarious that 20 minutes of mundane fat ads can't give you.
Well, I'd like the 140, man, because it really challenged me. You know what I'm saying? To like really get shit concise and get it down to, and now the 280 is like, oh, well, okay. I can pretty much get any thought I, want out and make it clear now. So it's like, it's not that challenge. It's not as fun as it used to be, I guess.
No, I kind of agree with you there.
See, I don't know. When I tweet, I'm kind of wordy. So like, it's good for me.
Yeah.
Being able to say more stuff, because I would always get like halfway through what I was trying to say and then hit the red characters and it's like, fuck.
Yeah. Well, then you have to like cut it down and and I learned a lot of cool little tricks, like instead of using periods and spaces, I would use a dash, and kind of, I don't know. I had little tricks and my own thing going on, and everybody did, everybody had their own little style of how they dealt with it,
Shorthand.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of nifty, everybody's unique. But I was going to say something, and I'm going to say it right here, right now. And I think us three should put out a challenge to Sugar Tits.
Challenge.
The funniest woman on the internet, in my opinion. Okay.
Oh yeah, she is.
Oh, Sugar Tits is the perfect woman. And the problem, I don't think, really is getting her on a stream because she's done lots of, well, I mean, like Irate, about her and Occam's Razor. And that's just one example out of many. She will go on many small streams. The problem is her time zone. I mean, my God, a reasonable hour for us is like fuck knows what time in the next day.
Yeah, but I mean, you and I are usually up at least at 2 o'clock, 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. And that's midday for them. So
the thing is, you do a stream at 3 in the morning. How many people are going to watch even with Sugar Tits?
Yeah, but well, I mean, they'll watch it in retrospect, if not,
I guess there is that.
But then again, there's always all those fucking Australian subs that really love our stuff that haven't seen it yet. Just saying.
I always think about that. Like, you uploaded all your videos at like 3 in the fucking morning of Australian subs.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people have some sort of Twitter app that shows where their followers come from, and it seems to be overwhelmingly dwarfed by the US, followed by the UK. Canada and Australia don't really seem to come into play too much, or New Zealand either.
Yeah, and it's like, what's cool about YouTube is that they break it down like that too, and you don't have to like get an extra app or anything, any of that shit. It's all part of your I call it your numbers or something, statistics, whatever.
Creator Studio, analytics, whatever you want to call it.
The analytics is what they call it exactly. And that's kind of fun to look at. And I really love Australians, so it's like I try to, you know, I don't know. I want more Australian subs.
Australians are great. It's just their animals that are problematic.
That's one of the compelling reasons that I would go there, man.
Yeah,
they have all the good animals. They have all the dangerous animals.
All the fun animals.
I just hope they're unleashed cats to kill all of the rest.
Man, well, you know, we got 5 minutes until the base mama stream is supposed to go up. What do y'all want to do about that?
Well,
do y'all want to can this and see what the hell shows up on that? Or,
well, personally, I mean, granted, if you want to watch that, IRATE, you don't technically need to be there, but I did make it known there's going to be the Phobos kind of after stream here.
Do you want to do that too?
That strikes me as much more interesting than some black eye. But like I said, if you want to watch that instead, I mean, the after party.
Well, my idea was going to be check it out and then come back and talk about it.
Yeah, that's what I feel. Because when I do that, I just mute the after party stream and watch a video or something like that.
Well, that kind
I'm watching Kumite and they're kind of getting boring for a second, and I want to move on to something else for a minute. I still want to watch the Kumite, so I just mute it and then I go to a different video.
I'm wondering, yeah, but I probably have to kill this window, and then come back in with build up a new video stream.
Well, no, if the person who started the stream leaves, other people can still be in it.
Yeah, no, of course. So I can do that and then set up another one, and then when it's boom.
Well, so not set up another one, just rejoin your original one.
Yeah, that's what I do. I ended up rejoining my the after party like 5 or 6 hours after I left the other day, and they were still going.
That was last Saturday.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, but I'm saying if I want to start another video, that's what I was thinking. Is maybe.
Oh, you mean like another live one?
Yeah, go live again.
Well,
so that's something to think about. So what I'll do is, if I want to do that, all right, that's what we'll do.
Well, if you want to do that, just come in here first and see if there's anyone left, and if there is, let them know.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'll plan then. I'll pop in and say, hey, let's do this thing, and then back out, and then we'll do it. All right. So does anybody want to say anything special before we end this particular stream?
Well, I want to say thank you for having me on, IRATE. It's been an honor.
No, man, I really like your input and your style, and I like your fact that you're a nice person. Well, no, you are a good listener, man, and a lot of times with streams like this, it's like people talk over each other and shit, and are very rude. And I like the way that we kind of give each other space enough to talk and stuff, even if it is 4 people, we're all getting our voices out there.
Yeah, and Sir kind of keeps saying, insert myself more, but it's like, if everyone's fluent, I kind of don't like interrupting, because I know I'll just make like an awkward statement or something.
Everybody, you got to have your moments where you can suddenly butt in, but you just got to know when that moment is. Like, don't let it be the cunt stream.
Yeah,
exactly. So yeah, man, and step in when you want to, man, because if you got something to say, you got to say it.
Of course.
So and on that tone, I guess we'll say that's current affairs with everybody.
I have a thing or two to say.
Okay, go for it, bro.
Number 1, fuck Kraut, fuck Jeff, fuck Fat Girl and Mundane Fat, and I'm posting the link to the after stream right now.
Well, sweet.
Alrighty.
Everybody pop in.
I'll say something really quick. I know he already said it, but thank you for having me on. It's always fun to stream with you, Irate. I would probably be down to rejoin a live stream later on today.
Okay.
And just thank you everybody in the chat. I swear to God, dude, we have the best chats. The best. They're active. So just thank everybody in the chat.
Thank you, Chad. You guys
Thanks,
are awesome.
y'all.
Yes, thank you, Chad. You're full of like 90% of people I know and like.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Quite the aberration from real life.
And know that we love you too. You know what I'm saying? All right. So we'll go ahead, and on that note, we'll say buh and bye.